Welcome to Personal Evolution Podcast. Join John and Lisa, mindset mentors, as they reveal success secrets inspired by Napoleon Hill. Make sure to subscribe to Personal Evolution Podcast and smash that notifications bell so you never miss the best motivational speeches for your journey to success. Let's jump in.
Hello, and a really big welcome back to this deep dive.
Hello. Great to be here.
Today, we're jumping into someone pretty major in the self-help world. A real titan, you could say.
You definitely could. We're talking about Napoleon Hill.
The man himself, his ideas, they've really stuck around, haven't they? Still shaping how people think about, well, getting things done, achievement, personal power.
Absolutely. And you can't talk about Hill without mentioning his landmark book, Think and Grow Rich.
Oh, absolutely core. It's more than just a book, isn't it? It feels like a whole philosophy.
It really is a guide that, countless people have used on their own paths to success. It's just stood the test of time.
It has. And you think about the dedication behind it. He spent, decades studying successful people?
Yeah, digging into their habits, their mindsets, trying to figure out, what makes them tick, what are the principles anyone could use.
And Think and Grow Rich is kind of the culmination of all that work. The blueprint, maybe.
Exactly. So today, our mission, if you like, is to dive into some key ideas from Hill. We're looking specifically at a YouTube video called Learn to Act as If Nothing Bothers You, Napoleon Hill.
Right. And we'll add some context, bring in bits from his biography and his wider work, too.
Yeah, get a fuller picture. Because it's important to say up front, Hill is celebrated, hugely influential, but also
a bit controversial.
There are debates, questions about some of his claims, his business dealings. We need to acknowledge that.
Definitely. So we're aiming for a balanced look. We want to explore the ideas, see what's valuable.
Precisely. And for you listening, the goal is practical. We want to pull out strategies, things you can actually use.
Strategies for handling life's curveballs, maybe, with a bit more calm, more control. Inspired by Hill.
That's the idea. Ready to jump in?
Let's do it. So, first big theme straight from that YouTube video. Mindset. The power of your mind and, crucially, emotional control.
Yes. The video argues that mastering your reactions is like the foundation of personal power, how you respond to stuff happening around you.
And this core idea, acting as if nothing bothers you. What does that really mean? It's not about pretending, is it?
No, not just bottling things up or faking it. It's more strategic. It's a conscious choice about your response.
Okay.
The video points out, quite sharply I think, that when you let things provoke a big emotional reaction, you're basically giving away your power.
You're letting the comment or the situation or the person control how you feel.
Exactly. You've handed over the reins. Think about those little daily annoyances and setbacks.
They add up.
They really do. And the video suggests these emotional reactions chip away at your control. But people who seem unshakable, it's not that they don't have problems. It's that they've mastered their reactions to those problems.
That fits perfectly with Hill's wider philosophy, doesn't it? The whole thought-shape reality thing.
Absolutely. It's central. If your thoughts come first and your thoughts are constantly being dictated by external events because you're reacting emotionally, then the external world is basically running your internal show. And that affects what you do next. Right. The video gives that great example of an insult. Someone says something nasty.
Your gut reaction might be anger or defensiveness.
Yeah. But Hill's approach, as presented there, is maybe just smile, walk away.
And that disarms them because they wanted a reaction.
Exactly. You deny them the reaction they expected. You keep your power. It's quiet strength.
I like that. And how does this apply to failure? The video touches on that too, right?
It does. Instead of seeing failure as an emotional disaster.
Which is easy to do.
Oh, for sure. But this nothing bothers me mindset helps you reframe it. It becomes data, information.
Okay, so failure isn't I'm terrible. It's, okay, that approach didn't work. What did I learn?
Precisely. It's feedback, not a catastrophe. It helps you adjust, refine, learn.
It's not saying it doesn't sting a bit, but you don't let the sting derail you.
Right. And the video stresses this needs practice. Daily mental training.
Like what?
Like pausing before you react. Just taking a beat, asking yourself, will getting upset right now actually help me reach my goals?
That pause is crucial, isn't it? Stops the knee-jerk reaction.
It does. And another technique mentioned is visualization.
Picturing yourself handling things calmly.
Yeah. Regularly seeing yourself in your mind's eye as someone who isn't easily rattled by external stuff, you sort of rehearse being calm.
Interesting. So you build this inner resilience. Which leads nicely into the next point, this idea of mindful indifference.
Yes. Which sounds a bit cold, maybe, but it's not really.
How so?
The video explains it's linked to prioritization. Realizing that, honestly, a lot of the stuff that winds us up, it just doesn't matter much in the long run.
So indifference isn't apathy, like I don't care about anything.
No, not at all. It's more like strategic allocation of energy. You've only got so much mental and emotional bandwidth, right?
That's true.
So you consciously choose where to invest it. Don't let trivial things drain your battery.
It's a shift, like the video says, from being constantly reactive,
Jumping at every little thing.
to being strategically responsive, acting with purpose.
Exactly. And that ties into self-worth. The video suggests that if you stand firm in your own value, you actually run more respect than if you're always chasing approval.
Because people sense that inner solidity, that you're not easily swayed.
I think so. When your worth isn't dependent on external opinions, you have this internal anchor. And that connects right back to Hill's big idea.
The definite major purpose.
Yes. His biography really emphasizes this, having that one clear main goal, believing you can achieve it.
That's the foundation.
It is. When you have that clear purpose, that North Star, all the minor irritations and distractions, they just have less power over you. They don't knock you off course so easily.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's pivot slightly. Criticism. Nobody likes it, but it happens.
It's inevitable, as the video points out. But Hill offers a way to handle it constructively.
Which is?
The key, again, is filtering it through logic, not emotion. Don't just react like you've been attacked.
Take a breath, analyze it.
Yeah. Ask. Is there actually something useful here? Is this person genuinely trying to help, or is it coming from somewhere else?
Right. The video distinguishes between constructive and destructive criticism.
A vital distinction. Constructive feedback, even if it's hard to hear, can be gold for growth. Destructive stuff, often just negativity, jealousy.
And you need to recognize that and not let it poison your well.
Precisely. Don't internalize it. The video used that analogy of the sculptor.
Oh yeah, I like that. Explain it again.
So the sculptor's working hard on their piece. People walk by, offer opinions. I like this, I don't like that bit.
Happens all the time.
But the wise sculptor doesn't just change everything based on random comments. They listen, sure, but they filter. Does this comment actually help me realize my vision for this piece?
If yes, maybe consider it. If no,
let it go. Discard it. It relies on having that inner conviction about what you're creating.
What the video called self-conveyance. Believing in yourself, your path.
Exactly. When you have that deep inner belief, external opinions, especially unfounded ones, just don't have the same sting. Their power diminishes.
Okay, so what about pressure? Those high-stakes moments.
Ah, yes, pressure. The video frames it not as some freak event, but as, well, part of the deal. If you're doing anything meaningful, there will be pressure.
So expect it. Don't be surprised by it.
Kind of, yeah. That mental shift is important. Expect challenges, expect pressure. Then you're less likely to be thrown when it arrives.
And the video talked about letting go of the need for absolute control, embracing some uncertainty.
Right, because you can't control everything externally. Trying to just leads to stress. But you can control your internal response.
It's like that warrior analogy. Preparing for battle.
Yeah, the seasoned warrior. They don't expect an easy fight. They anticipate difficulty, resistance.
But they stay composed because they've prepared. Mentally, physically.
Exactly. It's about mastering yourself, not the external events. Preparation, mental rehearsal, picturing challenges, and how you'll respond calmly. That builds resilience.
You build up that reserve of calm you can draw on.
You do, which links to the next idea. The power of letting go.
This sounds almost Zen.
It has that feel, doesn't it? The video explains that a lot of our suffering comes from clinging too tightly to things we can't control anyway.
Outcomes, other people's actions.
Exactly. We get attached. The video used the metaphor of a river.
Flowing around rocks.
Yeah, the river doesn't waste energy trying to smash through a boulder. It just flows around it, finds another path.
So letting go isn't giving up.
No, not at all. It's strategic. It's releasing the resistance to reality, accepting what is, and then redirecting your energy to what you can influence. Your own actions, your mindset.
It's releasing rigid expectations.
Yes, and that brings resilience, adaptability. The video also makes a point to distinguish this detachment from indifference.
Right, we touched on that. It's not about not caring.
No, it's about not being controlled by your emotions when things don't go exactly to plan. You can still care, still strive, but you're not emotionally hijacked by unmet expectations.
Okay, now, something maybe less obvious. Silence. the video positions silence as a power tool.
It really does. In conversations, negotiations, using silence strategically can give you an edge.
How? Because it makes other people uncomfortable.
Often, yes.
Yeah.
We tend to feel a need to fill silence. So if you stay quiet, especially at a key moment.
Like after you make an offer in a negotiation.
Exactly. The other person might feel pressured to speak, maybe reveal more, maybe even improve their offer just to break the silence.
And against insults, too. Just silence.
It can be incredibly disarming. You don't give the aggressor the fight or the reaction they're looking for. You retain control.
Plus, when you're silent, you can actually listen and observe more effectively.
Absolutely. You're not busy thinking about what you're going to say next. You're gathering information, noticing nuances.
So these are useful external tactics, but they all seem to rely on inner work.
They absolutely do. Which brings us to cultivating that inner calm, that mental discipline. The video calls the mind the primary battlefield.
Strong image.
Isn't it? It stresses we have to actively manage our thoughts, choose what we allow to grow there.
And practices like gratitude help. Discipline. Detachment.
Yes. Gratitude counters negativity. Discipline builds strength against, laziness or procrastination. Detachment lessens suffering from things outside our control.
And this mental strength isn't something you're just born with.
No, it's built like a muscle. Through small, consistent, daily acts of discipline, paying attention to your thoughts, choosing your reactions.
The core message seems to be, control your mind, control your experience.
That's it in a nutshell. When you're not just swept along by emotions or negative thoughts, you navigate life with more intention, more peace.
Okay, one last core idea from the video. Moving in silence. What's that about? Secrecy.
Not really secrecy in a negative way. It's more about realizing that real power, real action doesn't always need a big announcement or constant validation from others.
So talking less about your plans.
Can actually be beneficial, yeah. Less talk can mean less scrutiny, less resistance from people who might doubt you or try to discourage you.
Let your actions speak louder than your words.
Essentially, the video emphasizes that success comes from doing, not just talking about doing. Channel that energy into action.
And it makes this powerful point about validation.
Yes. When you stop needing everyone else to approve or applaud what you're doing, you become much harder to stop. You're operating from your own internal drive.
Okay, wow. Lots of powerful ideas there, mostly drawn from that video interpreting Hill. But let's zoom out for a second. Put Hill himself in context.
Good idea. His biography gives us that broader view. He came from quite humble beginnings in rural Virginia.
Which probably fueled his ambition.
Very likely. He definitely had an entrepreneurial streak early on. Though, as the biography notes, some of his early ventures weren't exactly straightforward successes.
Right. There were controversies, accusations of fraud, failed businesses. It's important context for his later teachings on success.
It is. But he did eventually find major success with The Law of Success in 1928. That multi-volume work.
That was his first big hit.
Yeah, it set him up financially. And then, of course, came the big one in 1937.
Think and Grow Rich.
The book that made him a legend. His wife at the time, Rosalie Beeland, was apparently quite involved in its creation, too.
And it became this massive global phenomenon. Still is, though the exact sales figures are sometimes debated.
True. And later, the Napoleon Hill Foundation was set up to keep promoting his ideas, which it still does.
But the biography also mentions the debates about, say, his relationship with Andrew Carnegie. How much of that mentorship story is verifiable?
Exactly. There are scholarly questions about the full accuracy of some of his biographical claims. It adds complexity.
So his overall philosophy of achievement, with its focus on strong belief, definite purpose, that secret, it's inspired millions, no doubt.
Undeniably. But it's good for us as learners to approach it with open eyes. Appreciate the powerful insights, but also be aware of the context, the controversies, the complexities.
See the value, but maintain a critical perspective.
I think that's the most productive way. Understand the man, understand the time, and then really grapple with the ideas themselves.
Okay, so wrapping this up then. What a journey through Hill's ideas. We've covered a lot.
We really have. That core idea of emotional control, acting as if.
Yeah, and mindful and different strategic focus, not apathy.
Handling criticism logically. Staying calm under pressure.
The surprising power of letting go of what you can't control.
Using silence strategically. Building that inner mental discipline.
And finally, the impact of quiet action, moving in silence without needing constant applause.
These are all, I think, really potent principles from Hill's work viewed through that video and his life story.
Yeah.
tools for navigating life, really.
Definitely. It gives you a sense of greater strength, focus, maybe even self-mastery.
So the final thought for you, listening, which one of these ideas really struck a chord with you today?
Just one principle. Which one resonated?
And maybe think about, what's one small thing you could do, starting today, to bring that principle into your life? Just a little step.
Towards building that personal power, that inner peace. Something to chew on.
Definitely.
This was fascinating. Really got me thinking. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure. Always enjoy digging into these ideas.
We're already looking forward to the next one. Until then, everyone, take care.
Yes, goodbye for now. See you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to Personal Evolution Podcast. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment and share your opinion on today's episode. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. See you next time.